For Nottingham Forest, what is success in the Premier League? Well, the first definition and most common one for success defines the word as the accomplishment of an aim or purpose. Let's take the first definition and break it down into two categories within the context of football: big success and small success. Big success, topping the table and or winning titles, and small success, avoiding relegation battles, having a solidly mid-table finish, and being out of the relegation zone. Anything out of these parameters would of course be failure, which in the context of football means, for a large team, not qualifying for a European competition, and for a small team, relegation. Nottingham Forest should target small team success and avoid small team failure, which in this case would be relegation. Within the parameters of small success, Nottingham Forest wouldn't be expected to pull a Leicester City and win the Premiership out of the blue, but being a Norwich and getting relegated right after being promoted would also be unacceptable. Speaking of Leicester City and Norwich, Nottingham Forest happened to score their two fastest goals in a match against these two teams. Anyway, please forgive the lecture. I used to be an English teacher, so semantics and things like that are pretty interesting to me. Hi everyone, welcome to the Footy Girl channel, where this girl talks everything football or soccer. Today's topic is obviously Nottingham Forest and how, despite being completely different teams, they can kind of take a page out of Union Berlin's book and copy their model of pursuing small success, thereby staying in the English Premier League, and potentially seeking big success in the future. At the end of the 2018-2019 season, Union Berlin was promoted to the Bundesliga, the top tier of German football, for the first time since the German reunification. Similarly, Nottingham Forest was promoted at the end of last season to the Premiership for the first time in 23 years. Union Berlin, the club where Taiwo Awoniyi came from before he was obviously signed to Nottingham Forest, would be a great model for Nottingham Forest to follow, as Union not only gained promotion for the first time in a very long time, but they also stayed up and managed to qualify for European competition. And in some ways, whether it's intentional or not, Nottingham Forest is sort of emulating Union Berlin, as seen by their excellent business practices during this season's summer transfer window. Anyway, I'll go through a very quick Nottingham Forest history, which Nottingham Forest veteran fans feel free to skip using the timeline below. Then I'll share 3 ways Nottingham Forest can emulate Union Berlin during the upcoming season and find that small team, small scale success. Let's summarize Forest history in 5 points. Founded in 1865, Forest is one of the English Premier League's oldest clubs at 157 years old. Forest have been playing at City Ground, capacity 30,445, for over 100 years, since 1898. Forest have won 2 European Cups, 1 UEFA Super Cup, 1 league title, 2 FA Cups, 4 League Cups, and 1 FA Charity Shield. The period under manager Brian Clough, who managed Nottingham Forest for 18 years from the late 1970s to the late 1980s, was the team's most successful. They won the European Cup in 1979 and 1980, and League Cups in 1989 and 1990. Nottingham Forest's biggest rivals are Derby County, a rivalry which spans over 100 years since Nottingham Forest pulled an upset during the 1898 FA Cup final when they beat Derby County 3-1. However, fellow Premier League side Leicester City is also considered a rival for Nottingham Forest, particularly by fans who live around the Leicester-Nottinghamshire border. For a bit more on Forest's recent history, check out my English Premier League prediction video. So, how can this old, reviving team be successful in the EPL from the 2022-2023 season and beyond? Forest's counterpart, Union Berlin, have thrived in the Bundesliga because of their smart business practices. After gaining promotion in 2019, Union Berlin purchased Marvin Friedrich, Anthony Uja, Neven Subotic, and Christian Gentner, all who are no longer playing at Union Berlin, but who, at the time, were discount buys who had the experience to keep Union Berlin up. And it worked. Union exceeded the goal of staying up and has even qualified for European competition. During the 2019-2020 season, they reached 11th place. During the 2020-2021 season, they took 7th place and qualified for the Europa Conference League playoff. And during the 2021-2022 season, Union took 5th place and qualified for the Europa League. Since then, Union Berlin have continued the practice of purchasing inconspicuous but skilled players who can keep the team successful but aren't prima donnas. So there are no superstars really at Union Berlin. The record sale of Taiwo Awoni gave Union the funds to bring in lesser-known talent for the next season, like Jamie Llewellyn from the recently relegated Greuther Fürth, and American Jordan Sebastião from Young Boys, who was the top scorer in the Swiss Super League last season. Luckily, as I mentioned in my EPL predictions video, Dane Murphy, Chief Executive, and George Sirianos, Head of Recruitment, have been at the helm of Forest's excellent business practices during the summer transfer window before their first season back in the Premiership in a long time. Nottingham Forest picked up Moussa Niakate from Mainz, Omar Richards from Bayern, Nico Williams from Liverpool, and Julian Biancone from Troyes to shore up the defense. Also, keeper Dean Henderson is joining Forest on loan from Man United, and the team has signed Wayne Hennessy from Burnley. The latter should bring in some good experience on the goalie front. Although markedly richer than Union, Forest are exhibiting smart, monetarily conservative business practices based on their transfer window activity. This is not really a coincidence, though, as Sirianos used to run analytics for Bundesliga outfit Stuttgart. He brought the German touch of savvy transfer practices to Forest using analytics, which are an integral factor when it comes to smart recruitment. As shown by Union's successes, Forest should continue their clean business practices, as this will lead to small, incremental successes and less drama, as seen by headline signings made by larger teams. Like Union Berlin, Forest should see the World Cup break as a prime time for recouping and re-strategizing. Unlike major teams in the Premier League, namely the Big Six, Nottingham Forest won't see many, if any, players going to the World Cup. Therefore, the break will be a great time to recuperate and plan for the second half of the season. Even if Forest has a rough start to the next season, they should be able to start anew in 2023 rejuvenated and pluck some more points, taking advantage of the fact that many players, again, particularly from the Big Six clubs, will be quite fatigued or even injured at the start of the new year. This point might sound fluffy to some, but fan support can truly spur a club on, and in some cases, save a club. Union Berlin fans literally gave their blood to help the club fund their license for promotion. In May 2004, the supporters raised enough money to secure the club's license for 4th Division football through a campaign called Bleed for Union. The fans gave the money they received from blood bank donations to their club. And later, in 2008, fans physically helped with the construction repair for the stadium an der Alten Forsterei, as Union Berlin was tight on money. And of course, Eisern Union, the Iron Ones as they're sometimes called, have some of the best fans in Germany despite their team playing in a humble stadium like Nottingham Forest. Likewise, Nottingham Forest's fans' support of the coach and the team will lead to those great small successes. Just look at the changes that Steve Cooper made when he swooped in and saved the team from relegation and got them to promotion. Public support, rather than public pressure, will help Nottingham Forest go a very long way. Even if Forest have a rough start to the next season, positivity from the fans will really help the team's mentality. As the Union Berlin Stadium announcer Christian Arbeit said, when your kids come home from school and they have had a bad test result, you don't start whistling. You support them. You encourage them to keep trying. These are not millionaires just here to entertain us. That is not our way of looking at the game. So, do you think that Nottingham Forest is on the right track? Do you believe that small successes will eventually create bigger successes in the future? Let me know what you think in the comments. Personally, I'm super excited to see Forest in the Premiership. I mean, who doesn't love a Cinderella story? I love when small teams find success just the way Union Berlin has since 2019 in the Bundesliga. So I'm super excited to see Taiwo Awoni reunite with Union Berlin so soon during the preseason. The game at Stadion an der Alter Forsterei is going to be super awesome and thrilling to watch, I think. And it'll just be great to see these two smaller teams competing in very big leagues meet each other in the preseason and get some lively practice in. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell if you'd like to be alerted anytime I post something new. Also, follow me on all of my socials. I am on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I will see you there and see you here next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.